Welcome back to How to Souls. My name is Rach, and today we're going to continue with our walkthrough of Dark Souls 3. So last time we defeated the Crystal Sage in the Crucifixion Woods, and we're going to go sort of behind his arena now to the next area, Cathedral of the Deep. First up, we have one of our pals that has a big cage on his back, but bear in mind this one is not passive. He is aggressive and he will attack you. We can look over the cliff here to see a crystal lizard that we can take out for a Twinkling Titanite. Currently, nothing we're using takes Twinkling Titanite, as far as I'm aware. Does the Grass Crest shield? No, I don't think it does. But there are a lot of really good weapons that do, so it's always worth picking up just in case you do end up with one of them later in our playthrough. There's another cage guy here. There's an Evangelist by the bonfire as well. A couple of sort of big, tough enemies. You don't want to be fighting them two at a time, so just as always, one at a time. We can sort of drop down here, and I think that allows us to get somewhat of an ambush. I don't know. There's probably no real way you can ambush this lassie, really. It's head to head. Yeah, she saw us. Or she heard us. One of the two. But fight as always. Our damage is like really, really high now. So these guys shouldn't be giving you any trouble. If they are, it might be time to reassess. You know, have I leveled up my weapon enough? Have I leveled up my character enough? Because, yeah, the twin blades are really carrying here. Here's our first bonfire, and it's a good thing there is a bonfire here because it's a couple of actual tough enemies coming up, which could give you a hard time, and then it's not a big deal. This first guy down here, this thief, he will throwing knives at you. He's got this weapon that is like in two parts, kind of like our weapon. Yeah, he can be a real ball-bag. He's doing bleed on us. If that bleed bar fills up, we're going to take a massive chunk of damage, so that's something to be aware of. Here's a wee tip, actually. When you're fighting this thief, it's good to point out, in case you weren't aware, that when you're drinking an Estus flask, you can slightly move while you're drinking it. So what we did there is we just moved to the side while we were drinking, and it actually allowed us to miss a throwing knife that was being thrown at us, which would have interrupted our Estus, so it's worth pointing out. And also this is where you really need to start like sort of hitting so that an enemy like moves into your attack as well, and you can get the hang of like you are always the one that hits first. We're doing a wee bit of parkour here, just going around on the right hand side. Very important, because if you go up these stairs head on for this bandit, it's a bit trickier. However, go up here on the right and we are able to get a plunging attack on her, which is mint. Much better way to handle this enemy. Like so. It only does 200 damage, but we got the element of surprise. Unfortunately, we did hit the cliff there, which wasn't ideal. As soon as she starts growling, you know, that's growling, roaring. That's a buff. I believe it's poise and damage, so much harder to interrupt and stagger her. I say her because the bandit is a girl in Dark Souls 1. I assume it's a girl. It doesn't matter. Anyway, that's her down. They don't respawn, and they do drop their equipment. Spider shields, which blocks poison and toxic, which is cool. This area up ahead is the infamous teleporting dogs area. So we're going to whip out our bow and try and take out a couple of these supernatural doggies before they become an issue, because if you're fighting, there's about 5 of them, and if you just run through this area, they do all aggro, and they do chase you. They chase you flipping infinitely, because, like I said, they teleport. They literally teleport behind you. It's absolutely bonkers. I don't know, I question this decision to give these dogs this ability, but it's quite funny. It's maybe worth doing once just to like see how funny it is, but they do teleport behind you. So there's one up here. They're quite difficult to see, obviously, because they kind of blend in with the trees, but there we go. We don't need to do damage to them. We just need to hit them once so they come down and check us out. Here he comes. So this is even just taking out 2 of these dogs is going to make this area a lot easier to deal with, because we can just like slowly take out the rest of them one by one rather than having 3 of them on our back, because it is just very stressful. Yeah, there's one more on the right here, but it is just by itself. We're going to pull back, as always, just in case things get a little bit hairy. The amount of damage we're taking from these dogs is, like, it's silly. It's absolutely silly. Luckily, we have, like, heckin' loads of health. We've got 2 crossbowmen here. Is that just the 2? And I think, yeah, 5 dogs, so. One by one. There's another dog up there. Doesn't seem to want to come for us yet, though. Another crossbow as well. Yeah, this area. This area. You can sort of use all the little labyrinthine type rocky outcrops to hide behind, though. That is good. We're prioritizing the crossbow guy over the doggy. Because as we're fighting the doggy, we don't really want shot in the bum. And that's it. That's all of them. So wait, there was way more than 2 crossbow guys there. There was like 5. So yeah, slowly one by one, and then once it goes quiet, you're good. New enemy coming up ahead, these sort of kamikaze warriors. They will scream, set themselves on fire, and then run straight at you. That explosion there does a ton of damage. Like, it did 1100 to him. Obviously, it'll do a little bit less to us because we have defenses and that, but like, not that much less. So basically, when you see these guys light themselves on fire, like so, you've got 2 choices. Either immediately take them out, or in this case, run away. Avoid them. Don't miss this Estus shard there, though. Need to pick that up. Don't avoid that. In here is our bonfire, and also it's going to be like our central bonfire for this entire area, because there are so many shortcuts in this area that do come back to this exact bonfire. So in we go. Let's get acquainted. Little shiny to pick up here. The oh, bit of BDSM. This is Gale. This is oh, spoiler, I guess. Oops. This is an NPC that wasn't here originally. This NPC takes you to the DLC, the Ashes of Ariandel DLC. So he's like, hey, I'm here, I'm chilling. I do think it's kind of interesting that they sort of mislead you and they allow you to go there this early, because you would get a hell of a shock if you did go there. We are going to go there. Just because we are here and we may as well unlock it. We're not, however, going to do the area because it is much higher than us in terms of difficulty. But if we just chat to Gale here, he'll be like, hey, do you fancy checking out this wee painting that I've got? Actually, yes, it is fire that we're seeking, and we accept. So as soon as you accept, you are teleported to the Ashes of Ariandel DLC. You get this fun little cutscene. Even if you don't do this now, you're not locked out of the DLC. Well, provided you own it, I guess. This scrap of painting, even if Gale is not here, this painting will be here, so you just have to interact with the painting. However, this cutscene is a lot cooler, so we decided to go with this one. Go on, touch it. I'm a massive Dark Souls 1 nerd, so this gives me like untold joy, the fact that there's like a scrap of the painting. Although I guess the painting in 1 is Ariamis and this is Ariandel, but it's kind of implied that the worlds of all the Dark Souls games it is the same world, but it's like thousands of years apart, but the same souls keep like getting new corporeal forms, basically. Different characters, same cycle. No, same cycle, different characters, but same characters. Different cycle. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, as mentioned, we're just getting this just to get the bonfire because we have the ability to warp wherever we like. So we're not locked here. Ignore this guy for now. We'll come back here later and do a proper walkthrough on it, don't worry. But just while we're here, we're just unlocking it to save us some time later on. So light this bonfire. We're going to sit, teleport back to the Cathedral of the Deep. Except it's not called that. It's called Cleansing Chapel. That's right. Cleansing Chapel is the one, like, get to know that one. That's the one, like I said, that has all the shortcuts going to it. And we're going to be here a lot. Right, so with that done, it's time to actually start tackling this area. Obviously, none of the doors in this room are open yet because we'll open them later. And here's the way to progress, just outside. There's a couple wee ways we can go. We're going to show you all the shiny shinies that we can pick up along the way. This well will become useful much later on. It's tied to an NPC quest. But first we're going to head up this ridge here. This graveyard has infinitely respawning like zombie enemies. Killing them doesn't give you much benefit. It gives you like 22 souls per kill. However, you do probably need to kill a few of them simply just to get them out of the way to progress. There's a couple things to pick up here, but nothing like earth-shattering. We're just going to head through quite slowly because obviously if there are 2 or 3 of these, they can block the way. So here's a great time to equip our torch. We've got Istora's greatsword up here on the left. There's a couple of these enemies, as you hear them sort of burping and being sick and that, a couple of these enemies are infested with maggots and it's just disgusting. And if the maggots do latch onto you, they will, I guess, flip and breed at a horrendous rate and they'll suck your blood and they'll inflict bleeding on you. And it's actually really difficult to get rid of them. Unless this one simple trick is a torch. They are deathly afraid of fire. So if you do get infested, and you can see them, you can see all the maggots like crawling on you. Here we are, these enemies that have the big like maggots coming out of them. If that grabs you, or even if it hits you, if it touches you at all, and you start to see like, you know, you're covered in maggots, your bleed bar is going up, simply whip out your torch, as in just hold it in your hand, and the maggots will shy away from it, and you'll be safe. Massive tip. If you didn't buy a torch, it was just 300 souls from the Shrine Handmaiden, so really cheap to get and really useful for this area. We don't even really have to kill them, but like I said, you know, we'd rather kill them before they can infest us, so good to just get them out of the way. These ones will keep respawning, the little ones keep respawning, but the big ones don't, so we're just going to need to keep moving. There's an enemy coming down the stairs now that's quite tricky. Cut, because we did die. What you want to do is pull her away from the rest of the group, because she's not so scary by herself, but when she's surrounded by these zombies, she's a lot trickier because she's very zippy. So just, yeah, pull back and then full combo on her. Shouldn't be a big deal. Down here, more maggot lads. Really not a fan, don't know if you could tell. We have another young white heckin' tree. And here is our giant archer friend once again. So he's got really, really good eyesight. And he is now giving us some air support because we're carrying the young white branch that says, don't hurt, you know, I'm a friend. We're able to safely pick up this undead bone shard, and he will shoot the nerds for us. Obviously, if we're standing close to them, be aware you can still get hit and hurt and thrown off the edge. But if not, you can just let him just calmly take them all out for you, which is lovely. Couple more branches we can pick up in here. These little ones, these ones that are usable, they actually have the chameleon effect where they disguise you as a random object, which I find just never-endingly hilarious. Good for PvP, just like pretending you're a pot in PvP will never not be funny to me. This mausoleum type building here leads to a little shortcut down to the ground below. So we're going to just quickly go and open that. A lot of little interconnecting bits here. This area is, it can be a pain, but I think I like this area. I love how massive it is. It's, but I hate the maggots. I don't know. It's complicated. It's love-hate. Definitely love-hate. We'll do the upper bit later. We're doing the lower bit now. It doesn't matter what order you tackle things in. Like I said, it all interconnects, so it's fine. These are, yeah, these maggot boys. Same thing. If they hit you, even the slightest little bit, they'll cover you in maggots. We don't seem to be getting hit, which is great, but I'm sure we will at some point, so I can show you the torch thing. But just take them out as quick as possible. Like, try and avoid getting hit, and if you do, torch. They are super, super, super weak to fire. So if you did get a fire gem and like infuse your weapon with fire, or if you have bought a lot of fire bombs or whatever, these guys are super weak to fire. They proper writhe on the ground, like they hate it. So it gives you a huge opening to hit them if you hit them with fire. This crystal lizard, try not to chase it along the corridor. We've managed to get it trapped in this little corner here, which is perfect, because it'll happen a few times where you'll be blindly chasing a crystal lizard and not realize that you've ran straight into a much bigger crystal lizard, which is what's going to happen here. So we're trying to avoid the big one. It's unavoidable, unfortunately. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. So yeah, Ravenous crystal lizard. We fought one of these in the past, way back in episode 1. So if you shied away from that fight, now's your chance to redeem yourself. You'll realize now that they are pretty slow. Their moves are really telegraphed. The hardest part is they do have this AoE sort of crystal effect, so you need to time your roll properly or double roll for that. If you are, yep, there you go. If you are caught in their roly-poly attack, it can knock you back. It does quite a lot of damage. Oh, this one has like an ice breath. That's fun. That's fun. It's great when enemies have breath attacks because you've got this massive window to attack their backside. Okay, we're heading inside now. There's a couple more maggot lads. Oh, here we go. We're covered in maggots. And now we're not. Ugh. So your bleed bar doesn't instantly go away, but it stops going up. The maggots stop raising it. So that's that. Getting that now, that poison bite ring now, is a very, very, very good idea. Do not skip on the poison bite ring because we'll need it in the very, very next area. In Farin Keep. I mentioned this before where we found the entrance to it in the last episode, the poison swamp, so that'll be really useful there. We're just sort of making sure we haven't missed anything, which we haven't. There is a way much later on in this area where you can look down and you can see the poison bite ring, that little area that we just did, and it's like, oh, I never got that, I should jump down. And it's like potentially really annoying because it's right next to another shortcut. It's a trap, basically. I'm convinced it's a trap. Rolling down here, we're back in the cleansing chapel. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to rest. We've got 30,000 souls, but the problem is here is that obviously Charlie's operating at a level of someone who's played this game quite a lot. So we're kind of like, is the average player, especially someone playing this for the first time, going to have this many souls? So we're thinking, do we want to level up this much? That's the only issue. So what I'm saying is, if you don't have this many souls and you're not able to match us in terms of level, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The Sellsword Twin Blades will carry you. I think after now, after these levels, I think we slow down for a bit. So you will have a chance to catch up. Don't stress about grinding or anything, I don't think. Unless, of course, you're struggling. There's our Undead Bone Shard. Burned. Get in the habit of just checking Andre for Estus shards, which we do have one, by the way, and checking the Coiled Swords bonfire for Undead Bone Shards, because you'll pick them up and go, yay, and then immediately forget about it. So just get in the habit of checking every time that you sit. You know, did I pick one up? Everyone does it. Right, we're heading back to the Cleansing Chapel to continue. We didn't open up any shortcuts there, but that's the whole like sort of outside bit explored, which in my opinion was it's good to get that out of the way because it's kind of ugh, with all the maggots and the ugh. Right, so we continue. Okay, we're gonna just head to the shortcut that we opened up and up our ladder to where we were before. We can continue our ascent up the cathedral. Our twin-bladed friend is still here. We're just going to let her sort of pass by us. We'll sneak around the back unnoticed. Hell yes. The making this shortcut a little bit easier to use than the main path, certainly. Well, shiny here, we have 2 rusted coins, so using these will increase your luck for a short amount of time. I think it's about 2 minutes. This door doesn't open from this side. It opens very, very late on in the inner cathedral area. It's pretty useless shortcut, really, but there you go. From here, watch out for this crossbowman in the window up there. And this guy behind you is throwing Lloyd's talismans. So one of them did hit us. We've got this white sort of mist around us. That blocks your Estus, so you can't heal at all. This is really, really good for PvP. You want to use these Lloyd's talismans in PvP to stop your nemesis from healing. Let's see if we can do a bit of bow on bow. His bolts are getting stuck on the gargoyles, but we are able to shoot over the top somehow. So, winning. However you decide to take this guy out, you don't even have to. You can just skip him, I suppose. But it's always a good idea not to have people shooting you in the back. There we go. And we got a headshot there. Slowly does it. I mean, that I can't think of a single area where it's not the case of, like, slowly does it. But we're doing it. These rooftops are full of these little thrall enemies. So we've seen them a wee bit already and we think, yeah, we know how to deal with them. Well, the ones here are all like hanging onto the edge of the roof and they're ready to ready to drop down on you or swarm you. Yeah, I'm sure you know how to handle them, but still just please be cautious. We are going to do this at any opportunity. If we see them in advance, we're going to try and take them down before they notice us. Because if they ambush you, they're much harder. Because they always seem to be in groups of 2 or flipping 3. They are little pains, little buggers. There's another one waiting to drop on us. Now he's got a giant arrow in his head. We love to see it. And as mentioned way long ago, these do have a chance to drop their weapons. Pretty cool weapon. We're not using it, but it's just a bit of flavor text for you. There's another one. There's another one there. So we know where they all are, but if you don't, and or you don't have a bow or whatever, you can body pull them slowly one by one, and then just get in the habit of like running backwards. If you're ever going to run away from something, or like pull one thing and run away or whatever, run to where you have already been. Attack this guy as he's coming over the edge. And this guy too. Oh! And then they're much easier to deal with. Yeah. So always run backwards. It's totally valid to run away. Separate things so you're not fighting things 3 at a time. But don't run forwards. Run backwards. Because backwards, you know where you're going. You know that you've killed everything. Unless, I guess, that you ran past... Maybe you ran past stuff. Hopefully not. Now we're going to do something that I actually personally don't think is a good idea, but just showing you a way that you can take these guys out. The only problem with this is it's kind of like a trade. It's like, right, I'll hit you and you hit me. The difference is that we can heal and they can't. But you can just head down there and sort of zigzag to avoid their arrows. Take out the crossbowmen. As soon as you go near them, they do put their crossbows away and bring out a melee weapon. So I do think that makes them easier to deal with. However, we have so many Estus flasks, so don't treat Estus like this valuable commodity. Like, if you have them, there's no problem with using them. I do think it's funny how you can see the arrow like getting loaded on the bow there. I never noticed that. Okay, weapons are back out. So that is, yeah, that's one way you can deal with it. Or you can rush them and just run straight down and run straight up to them so they put their crossbows away. Both ways are, both ways are risky, so just personal preference. This is an Evangelist here. You can sort of see her like flipping frankincense thing. So we're just pulling these guys so we're not fighting them all at the same time because they are, I believe, yeah, they are the kamikaze guys. So that can get a bit chaotic. I believe if they have a short sword with a fire enchant on it, most of them are all kamikazes. And then you've got your spear bros who are not. So we'll go take out that Evangelist in a second. Here is a fun skip for you. We'll show you that in a bit. It's not a big deal. It's cool if you are getting frustrated with this area, frustrated with these like little thralls and stuff. There's a little skip there we can show you in just a bit. So yeah, her on the end here. We can... oh, there's another one. Well spotted. Good idea just to take out those first of all, because the big evangelists are difficult enough by themselves without 3 guys trying to explode beside you. Bloody flies. You can get a backstab, or you can get a full combo, and it just does tons of damage. It's so good. Undead Hunter Charm. Oh, my mistake. I'm so sorry. I'm a Dark Souls 1 nerd. Earlier on, I called them Lloyd's Talismans. That is the Dark Souls 1 name for them. They're now called Undead Hunter Charms. I'm sorry, but same effect. Stops Estus. And also, they have a fun effect on mimics. Just here, we can see this dangly foot of a thrall just waiting to ambush us. We can get him, just like so. Basically, you pick up that item. I keep saying basically. I'm actually annoying myself because I feel like I have a tally mark in my head that's going up every time I say the word flippin' basically. I'm sorry. You pick up this item, which is one of these pellets that I literally never use, and 2 of these guys jump down behind you, which means you can't run because they're blocking the way. So taking down that guy that's a way to jump down on you first is essential, because fighting the 2 of them in that tiny little space is really annoying. I am so sorry for all of the basicallys. I'm going to make a conscious effort now to never basically. It's out of my vocabulary now. Oh, okay. Room on the left here does have, well, that, and that, and that, and them, and oh. There's so many of them. There's 3 of them. So yeah, it's kind of annoying, which is why I mentioned there is a little skip if you're getting a bit frustrated with this bit, with these little nerds. To be fair, they just have the will to live. Jigsaw would be really impressed, you know? Most people are so ungrateful to be alive. Not these thralls. They're just like, no, I'm zipping about. You're not hitting me. I'm not dying. Yeah, so this room to the left, it's actually got another one on the wall. It's got another 2. Oh, it's actually annoying me. I'm not even playing. It's annoying me. There's another 2. Bow and arrow strat. Valid strat, obviously. Lock on. Don't aim. Lock on. Shoot them with arrows when there's more than one of them. Much easier. They won't dodge your arrow. They will like run side to side, but they don't dodge your arrows in the same way that, say, an NPC might. So yeah, this bit here is where you can do a little skip. It's really not game breaking, but also it's not hard to do. So we figured it was maybe worth pointing out. You can jump by running and then pressing L3. And you can land on this, I don't know what you call this. Anyway, you can land on here. The little stakes that are sticking out of it will stop you rolling off the edge. So it's quite an easy jump. And you can come up here, fight a couple of these little nerds up here. And you can drop down. Ah, there you are. I see you. I see you. I just can't hit you. Oh, he's like, right, I'll save you the trouble. He's like, I see what you're doing. I see your game. Very nice. So if we are able to get a nice, clean, I think it's called like perfect hit. Basically a hit where our entire weapon hits the enemy. They go down in 1 hit, which is great. And then you can drop down here from the rooftop and completely skip that building there that has like 5 thralls in it. So it's legit. You can do that easily if you like. In here we will have 2 of these dual swordsmen. I don't really know what to call them. They're pretty badass looking, actually. They're like very Grim Reaper-y kind of lassies. They remind me a little bit of Margot's wet nurse, except with fewer arms. There's 2 of these, so we did the best thing we could do, which was pull one of them out of the room while the other one is entering the room. And then one-on-one's much easier. Still have plenty of Estus flasks, so that is not a big deal. But they do have a decent amount of health, so this one takes a wee while to get down. Ooh, another Titanite shard. Titanite shards we have out-leveled, but always a good idea to collect those just in case. We're just going to let them explode themselves, run away. Very far away from us, if possible. And then up here there are a couple of guys hanging on to the side. You can see their little fingies hanging on. So if you're able to hit them before they pull themselves off the edge, it's just quite funny, isn't it? It's just quite funny. And they fall. Where are they? They're like here. Yeah, there. So if you hit him there, he just goes, ah. I'm so easily amused, but then you have to live life that way, don't you? You know? More kamikazes. This one doesn't seem to want to. I don't believe that has friendly fire. That explosion. Something is telling me that it does. I don't think it does. But we're just running way, way, way back until we can separate them. Big guy kind of has a leash, which in Dark Souls means that if you run back a certain amount, he will sort of stop and slowly backpedal, which is free hits a lot of the time. So he has kind of got a leash, however the little guys don't, and they will follow you a much larger distance. Don't know why that is. But it's good, it's really good for separating them. So a good rule of thumb is that, you know, like I said earlier, don't be afraid just to run backwards. Enemies can naturally separate themselves when you've got a group of them, just because some of them are leashed and some of them aren't. Here we go. We're finally inside Cathedral of the Deep. There are giants in here. There might be giants. And there are. Hello. Hello, friend. Nice to meet you. I do think this is quite funny. He's just like, hi. He's not friendly, unfortunately. You get the chance to kill him later on. Do we want to? Yeah. Yeah, he was impolite. He doesn't even say hello. Death. Death to all impoliteness. Right. Blobs. Blobs are a new enemy, aren't they? They are really resilient to physical damage. However, very, very weak to fire damage, much like our maggot friends. There's a dual charm there. And a statue that's spitting acid at you. More new enemies. These little monks. I say monks. They're like priests. Deacons. Priests. They are the clergymen. They have these little candlesticks. They do spit fire at you as well. Well, they are deacons. The boss of this area is called the Deacons, so I didn't realise they were all deacons. They've all been ordained. We can take that elevator for a wee shortcut, but we're first going to go down here. But obviously prioritise the shortcut if you are super low on health, super low on heals, because there is an Evangelist down here. With one little pickup to pick up. So I might recommend just taking the elevator for now, but like we've popped down just to get this deep gem. That's for infusing weapons with, well, deep, dark, hexy stuff, dark magic. If that doesn't apply to you, I wouldn't worry about popping down there, really. Ahaha! On your way back up, there is a slimy boy that will try and fall on your head. Simply stop on the stairs midway, and it gets confused and drops down anyway. Here's our elevator leading to our shortcut. So that was a sizable part that we've just done there. Thankfully, did it without dying, but that is quite a frustrating part of the game to progress on. So opening up this shortcut is, in my opinion, like one of the best shortcuts, really. I think because by the time you get here, you're just like, thank God. We're opening this door. Is this the one? Yes, this is the one. Yay! Back to the cleansing chapel. Nice. So that's on the right-hand side, and there's another shortcut we'll get later that is on the left-hand side. So first major shortcut unlocked in the cleansing chapel. So let's head back to where we were. Back inside. This is a linear path. We've only got the one direction. I'm sorry, I mixed up with the other one, I think. And there is only one way to go now. There will be a few options. In here, it can be a bit of a maze, but we will be exploring all of it. Unfortunately for Charlie, I don't think she loves this area. I like it. I don't know. I like the big, I like the church vibes. I like the, I don't know. There's a bit coming up later I don't love, but... Alright, we don't need the torch anymore. Certainly don't need crossbow bolts. We're gonna run here. There's a couple things to pick up, and picking them up will slow your progress crossing this area. The giant is going to be swiping at you the whole time, and picking them up does mean that he's going to catch you. However, you know, we have enough Estus to survive it. We're just going to pick everything up. Lloyd's sword ring. If you can avoid some hits, that's great. Oh, we got this guy as well. Oh, it's just chaotic. Oh, thankfully the giant hit us before the explosion hit us, because I think the explosion would have done way more damage. Exploding bolt there, definitely not getting almost killed for. I'd say pick up the Lloyd's sword ring as a priority, but probably don't worry about the other two. And then you've got this guy shooting stuff at you. Once you get to here, you're safe. Thankfully. But it is a bit nuts. If that's just far too stressful, if you simply just run the whole time, or like, I guess pause to refill your stamina, then you can get across without getting hit, like, easily. Just run the whole time. But we had to go and pick stuff up. First of all, here on the left and up the ladder. Just to quickly get this up here. We do come back through this area in a bit and show you how much easier it is without the pickups. So that's something we can definitely show off. Oh my god, we're alive. Oh, no, we're not. Okay, so this is how to get through here. How easy it is if you don't have to stop and pick stuff up. Just keep going. Keep going, and yeah, no bother at all. It's only when you stop to get the shinies that it's becomes a pain. And we were left. And then left again, up the ladder. Get our souls back. We were getting a little low on heals anyway. It's like, as soon as you get that first shortcut, it's no big deal. I do think though, when you get to like do that bit again and again, it gets a bit long. But in here we're good. In here we're fine. Not even bothering to go for the backstabs anymore because a full combo is just so much better. Got a wee ember there, which we're not really using. We don't really need it. We've got a lot of vigor leveled up, so. But there's an ember here if you need it, if you're doing some co-op, etc. This room has a lot of these thralls hanging to the ceiling and the walls, so we're gonna, oh hey, that kind of rhymed. We're gonna hit them first. This will make this one drop down, where if we are speedy at aiming, we can hit it again and kill it. But as long as you get them to fall down, they will not be an issue to us. Oh, that was so close to dying. So close, and yet no cigar. This is so annoying. Oh, this is so annoying. He's got like 1 health and a dream. Dream crashed. There's another one on this side, which again, if we hit it as it falls down, we can kill. The reason that we didn't kill this other one in 2 hits is because he was much further away in distance, which does drop off a lot of damage from your arrows the further away you are from something. You do not want to pick up this item because the slime will fall on your head, and when it does so, it does a lot of damage, like a grab attack, basically. Seek guidance. I never really understood this miracle. It lets you see more messages from other worlds. Okay. Yeah, I never really understood it. But I believe there's a trophy for collecting all miracles, so that's where you get Seek Guidance. We may as well roll down here. This just ties into where we were. After we ran away from the giant, we had the option to go left to the bit with the ladder or down. This room is if you go down, and this chest is a mimic. So you can either attack it to kill it, or you can use an undead hunter charm to put it to sleep. And the funny thing about mimics, oh, we got a symbol of avarice. And the Deep Braille Divine Tome. So that's another dark magic tome. Symbol of Avarice, rare drop. Anyway, sorry, I'll finish what I was saying. The funny thing about mimics when they fall asleep is that they like sleep with their mouth open. And you're able to get their treasure without fighting them. So that's fun. But if you want to get Symbol of Avarice, which is a helm that increases your souls gained by quite a big amount, you need to kill it. These paladin guys, we managed to get a huge amount of damage on them while they were buffing, which is great. But unfortunately, when they buff, they start doing this like magic seed bomb type attack, which is difficult to deal with. This big ominously empty room is in fact not empty, because if you pick up this ember, this giant horrific manifestation of darkness and horror spider thing does attack you. Oh my god, has it got maggots on it as well? Is it covered in maggots? I actually, oh god, I can't deal. They're not too bad, just hit the head. Once you get over the appearance, they're not too bad. Simply hit the head and they are very quick to stagger. And you can get a critical attack on them. Aldrich's Sapphire, it's recovers FP on critical attacks. FP we're not really using, because we're not using spells or weapon arts at all, so but that's where you get that. And then heading through here, so far we haven't missed anything. This is the next big branching path area. A lot of these statues spit acid. Acid degrades your weapons, which is just a pain, so don't stand in it. Always listen for the rattling of chains, indicating that there are thralls nearby patrolling. You can sometimes hear them make little wah noises. You can definitely hear one somewhere. I think it was maybe this one here. Yeah, there's the giant in the sludge there that we saw when we first entered the area. If I'm not mistaken, it was that one there. He's sort of cuddled up, he's chilling. And then there's another giant there on the right. So there's 2 in this building. In this room, I should say. We have crossed over to the other side now. There's a patrolling knight. There's more thralls dropping down. And we're going to go to the staircase that's heading down. When we open this gate and head outside, there's an option here. There you go. So I mentioned earlier, there's a place where you can see an ability to drop down, and then there's a shiny there. Don't do it, because if we drop down there, that's right back at the start of the area. So we will undo all the progress that we've just made. It's a trap. It's mean. And this is right before a shortcut. I hate it, because you'd have someone going, ooh, what's that? And then just undo all their progress right before a shortcut. That door there with the elevator, ignore for now. This door at the end is the cleansing chapel door. So make sure you open this one, because this is the one that you'll need if you die, or when you die, really. Let's be realistic. To get back to where we were. We're leaving that elevator for now because we've still got a couple things to explore up here. But now the shortcut is open, we can massively relax about everything, because now we don't have to fight our way through too much to get back to where we were progressing. There's a lever here you can pull. There's a couple of these dotted about this room, and they rise these like walls which provide sort of pathways between the two sides of the cathedral. So these can rise and lower. We're going to have them both risen. And these guys with the great shields. I think they all buff. They also have Elden Ring level of delayed attacks. We do want to try and get behind them for a backstab, but also that's quite hard to do when we're constantly on the defensive. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So as they are standing up, we can get another combo in. Oh, bouncing off the great shields. Perfect. So when they're doing a combo is a great opportunity to get behind them. Wonderful. Again, here we're going on the right. Oh god, I don't know if I should say right and left because it depends on how you're looking at it. Where we had the lever. Perfect. Back to where we had the lever. A couple of thralls. More acid statues. Little shiny here. Large soul. Worth picking up. And here we are at the front door with this guy. He's all cuddled up in a ball. There's an armor set on the right hand side there. We could pick all that up. We could also kill the giant. If you leave the giants alive, there's a fun NPC interaction coming up. So we're not fighting them yet, but you can. It's not a big deal. It doesn't lock you out of anything. You can. The second lever is over here, right in the corner. Kind of missable, in my opinion, because there's like nothing else here. So we're going to raise that as well. Now we're going to re-equip our trusty dagger. So this I showed you guys in the swamp. I keep wanting to say Swamp of Sorrows. No, that's a different game. In the Crucifixion Woods swamp. When we equip the dagger and do the dagger's weapon art, which is quick step, we can move much faster through deep water and, in this case, sludge, unidentified human waste, sludge, possibly, who knows. The giant's bath tub contents. I don't know. The mud. Call it the mud. They chilling in the mud. Maiden suit. Dark Souls. Smiles in Dark Souls 1. We get to these front doors. We can open them for some extra little bits. And also, it gives you immunity. While you're opening a door, you do have iframes. So even if that giant was to swipe at us, we'd be okay. So it's a good idea just to head for the door. There was another shiny out there, but we'll grab it in just a second because we can just go down here and grab a couple things down here. This doesn't really lead to anywhere. It's literally just a couple of pickups. So if that doesn't really bother you, then I guess don't worry about it. One of these is a weapon. Saint, that's it. Saint Bident. I like a Bident. It's like a trident, but it's got 2 dents instead of 3. It reminds me of what the gargoyles use. So I think it's pretty cool. So he's gone back to cuddling up, but then once he sees you, he's up again. Another soul to pick up there. And like I said, you can fight them. If you want to kill them, all you do is just like attack their ankles. Oh my god, that does so much damage. Let's get out of there very quickly with our quick step. Even if you run out of FP, you can still do the quick step if you have stamina. All right. There is one final shortcut to open up that I think is a good idea to do before we do anything silly, like fighting giants, etc. And we're going to ignore all of these shinies for now. Actually, we could probably pick up this one. We'll pick up this one. Are you picking up them all? Oh god, I would ignore them. It's the Drang set. And the Drang weapon as well. Which, like, fair enough. Fair enough. I think I just hate the sludge. Oh, Pale Tongue. Worth picking up, I suppose. But it'd be better to get it once the giants are dead, I would say. Running a little low on Estus. But we do have another quite good shortcut just up ahead, so... Drang hammers. So if you want to be a Drang, you can equip the Drang stuff. Oh, I think our giant friend killed our worm friend there. That's fun. Let's heal up to full, or almost full. That's with the Estus ring. Mad. Up here, these guys are a pain in the bum. You've got one paladin here with a great sword. And then another one in the pews that I believe has a hammer. So there's two of them. We're just going to give a wide berth to the one in the pews. Go around the back. There's an item to pick up here, another ember. And we're just, yeah, ignoring these guys. We can kill the little guys. Are we going for the big guy? I would ignore the big guy for now, because they're scary. But I'm a puss apparently. So apparently the guy in the pews doesn't give a heck. He is not bothered. That's interesting. I would have thought that he'd be right up for coming to help his pal. But no, he just lets you fight them one-on-one. That's good. It's a good thing. So we're going to get him far away from him regardless, just in case we end up hitting him, because that would aggro him. Avoiding the swipes, trying to get a backstab. It's proving to be quite difficult. This guy has infinite stamina. So I think we're just going to fight him head on, get kicked in the face naturally. It's like Dark Souls 3, innit? I did think we did manage to distract him there. He was sort of attacking the pew. Oh, wonderful. That was beautiful. Beautiful. This one, we can get the drop on this one. If we hit him once to make him stand up, then you can get a backstab. Yeah, this is a great shield with a hammer one, so they're a bit more annoying in my opinion. But yeah, you can get a nice free backstab on that one. With those down or skipped, you can go along here. No. Along here. With those down or skipped, we can go and, I guess, kill those nerds for fun. That was unnecessary. We can go along here to get another lift that leads to another shortcut. Let's go. Let's go. This area is so long. However, in my opinion, this shortcut isn't very good. It's not one that I would like use, but hey, it's open. It's opened. Just in case, you never know. So this is the front door where outside was like the graveyard with all the maggots and the twin blade lassies and stuff like that. So like I said, even if it's useless, we got it. Here is Siegward.
Well, you look reasonably sane. I am a knight of Cathedral.
I think he forgot his name.
I've managed to track down this cathedral's store of treasure. It's right over there, across that narrow treasure. Always so close, yet so far. I'm in quite a pickle, indeed.
Okay. That seems quite unlike you, Siegward, but we do trust you. We've met you in the past. We've worked together. We've slain demons together, so he must be trusty and true. So, yeah, I guess we'll go...
Hold your horses a moment. I know. Treasure is so sorely tempting.
Oh, was that a little giggle? Okay. Well, I'll go get it. So you don't have to worry about lifting a finger, Siegward. I'll go get it for you.
Shame on you, you greedy guts.
You greedy guts. You insatiable wench. I wonder why they changed that.
Thought you could outwit an onion.
It's Patches!
Say hello to the nice giant. He adores visitors.
Patches is in this game. Patches is in every heckin' game. I'm sleepy, sorry. Oh god! Say hello to the nice giant. Whoa! It was Patches! Who saw that coming? Whoa! Yes, so Patches has left Siegward somewhere naked and alone. So we'll need to try and find him and get him his armor back. First of all, though, we have to deal with the task at hand. That is fighting this great old heckin' giant. It's actually much easier to fight this guy in this case, because even though he sort of ambushed us, we're not in the swamp. So we're kind of, we have an advantage here. We can just stick by his ankle, attack the ankle, and avoid pretty much everything. As long as you don't see this foot raise to do a stomp, you can just stick by it and attack it, and things are fine. Things are just fine and dandy. He drops a poo and a large titanite shard. Large titanite shard, definitely worth killing the giant for, because that's what's going to level up our weapon. And now you're free to pick up the shinies in the poo pile if you never got them before. So while we're on a giant killing spree, we may as well take out this nerd as well. We do have to fight this guy in the poo, because if we try and pull him back to the stone floor, he is not having it. He's like, no, I think I'll just go back to sleep in my poo instead. Same thing does apply though. Just stick by the ankle. The only thing you have to worry about is if you see that foot raise. So do make sure that you're not locked into constant like combos, and always be ready to move away if you do see that foot raise up for a stomp. I would say that the slugs in the swamp are much harder. Like, they're the real threat. Like, they're annoying. We do have some fire bombs, so what we can do is like group them up, because they take so long to kill with physical damage. We can sort of group them up and then throw a fire bomb, and it's going to do loads of damage to them. Like so. Boom. That was really satisfying. And then a couple of the stragglers, we can just pick them off. Well, that was a nice little pirouette. Most weapons, when you press forward and R1 sharply, it's a kick attack, which is really good for dealing with enemies that have shields, to knock the shield out of their hand and leave them vulnerable for a critical attack. However, the twin blades don't have a kick. They have like this sort of back step, like it's like an attack and then a back step twiddle type attack. There's a few weapons that have that. Most have a kick, some have a twiddle. So that's what happened there. Yes, if you've got it in you, take out the giants. Not too bad now that we have shortcuts galore. But we need those large titanite shards for our twin blades. How trivial this game gets when you have high damage is silly. High HP and high damage. I mean, what more do you need, really? I just described what you need, really. Okay, Patches, let's talk. Oh, he's not here. Okay, that sounds like the wriggly little worm that he is. He's actually over there. He somehow crossed to the other side while we were fighting the giant, because he was like, oh, hell no. So we're going to homeward bone and head back to the bonfire we last rested at, which was Cleansing Chapel. We're going to take the left. If we say looking at the bonfire, we're going to take the left door and then left again. So we never went up this way. We unlocked it. We like opened the door, but we didn't take the elevator. So now we're going to check out what's up here. This is actually the watchtower where this guy was shooting at us way back when we came through this area. We're just sending the elevator back down in case we die, and we do a few times. It's this next bit up here on the roof is one of those areas which you can definitely skip if it's frustrating you. It's not essential, but it's got some annoying moments. So a good idea is just to send the elevator back down, and then it's one less little thing to get frustrated about. Deep ring. I believe that is a sorcery ring that we've picked up there. Just from killing that little deacon in the watchtower. First, we're going to go left just to get this guy before he starts his patrol. You can hear all the thralls. They're just below us. Oh, he fell off. Oh, wonderful. Okay. I mean, he didn't die, but we don't have to deal with him anymore. And then we've got this guy with his halberd. Oh, there is a thrall just came up behind us, so we did see that. So we take out this guy as quick as possible and then turn around for this guy. You can, I guess, shoot the thrall before he does manage to jump up behind you. You can hear them, but you're not... The thing is, they could be on, like, the lower level. That's the thing. Oh, no, they're here. They're here. Very scary fighting on the rooftop, because if you do roll off, you're probably dead. Which is annoying, but hey. At least we sent the elevator back down, eh? It doesn't take too long to get back up here as well. The runbacks in Dark Souls 3, I think, in my opinion, are very forgiving. They're not quite Elden Ring levels of forgiving, but they're not Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 level. That was Arbalest, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the triple bolts crossbow? Or is that Avalon? Is it called Arbalest in this game? I think it's the triple bolt crossbow. And either way, it's a crossbow. We're not going to be using it. You can't manual aim with crossbows, so they're not really that useful for us. They are useful, I suppose, as a ranged weapon that scales primarily from strength, as a backup to someone using, say, a greatsword. Another pale tongue to pick up there. All for, if you want, leveling up Rosaria's fingers. However, we're not going to do that because it messes up another covenant. More on that in a bit. Oh, bye! Welcome to the Rafters, which I don't know if this is meant to be a callback to Anor Londo, but it's 10 times worse than the Anor Londo Rafters. You can manipulate enemies into falling off the edge, like so. It does also work on the big guys, but it's much more perilous. So first of all, we're going to go to the right, pull these little thralls, see if we can, well, get them to do the job for us. And we've got a quick pickup to do just on this side with one paladin before we head over to that side that has 2 of them. It's just... This is an area where I'm actually going to say something controversial and brave, and I'm going to say, just don't fight them. Literally, don't fight them. It's always a good idea to kill stuff and not run away from stuff because it can bite you in the ass later. But this area is one of the few areas where I'm like, no, don't fight stuff. It's so risky. It's much easier just to run. That was a blessed gem for infusing your weapon with blessed, I guess. Faith scaling, it will cause you to slowly recover HP while the weapon is equipped, which is quite cool. So you have a great sword paladin, and you also have a great shield paladin there, and they're just flipping awful. So here's what to do. Pull him and run back. Run all the way back outside, or you can sort of do like a loop. We die. We die. More on that in a bit. Here's how to quickly get back up. Yeah, pull them back, and we're going to run around the back of them, basically, because where we're going, they can't follow. Here's me just showing how it's not actually that bad to get back to where we were. Get that guy. They don't jump off the edge this time. Get my souls back. There we go. Right, so pulling this guy with a crossbow. Where we're going is just beside the greatsword one. We're trying to get him to put away his crossbow and follow us. Here we go. If you're savvy, you can get these guys to fall off the edge, but it is risky, like I said. Okay, so pulling him back. Way, way back. Way, way back. We need to get around the back of him. We've still got a guy alive here. Not ideal. There we go. Okay, so we're around the back of them now. So we're going to now run to where he was. And slip around here. Sorry, I've done a cut here. We have also pulled away the greatsword one. You roll off the edge here, down to this platform. And you can very safely do this. It's quite an easy jump. While they're sort of chasing you. And then once you're down here, they won't bother you. So much easier just to run away from them than it is to fight them. Take out this guy and then we notice... We'll take out one worm and then we notice another worm standing beside him. So we've raised this. Now Patches won't touch it again. That's it up now forever.
Yes, hello. Oh, I don't believe we met.
Oh. Okay. He's pretending not to know us. He's like, oh, that wasn't me. You think that was me?
Do you have business with me?
You know who I am. Patches' quest is quite fun, obviously. It won't be the last time, guys, that he tries to betray us. However, it is worth forgiving him. Please do stay your hand. Hold your trigger finger, because if you keep Patches alive, he ties into another NPC's quest line. That NPC is Grey Rat, and everyone loves Grey Rat, so unfortunately we do have to keep Patches alive and just allow him to get away with all the terrible things he keeps doing to us. He'll give us a rusted coin, which, as we know, is not that great. But thanks, pal, I guess. He is a merchant, and he will now move to the Firelink Shrine.
You'll find plenty of good stuff.
However, before he does so, we want to purchase the Irina set from him. He's not wearing it anymore because he believes it's evil. Yeah, sure. So we have to buy it, and it's not cheap. I don't think we need the shield. But we're going to buy it anyway. For the collection, I suppose. He sells poison arrows, alluring skulls as well. Human pine resin, dark addition to weapon, black fire bombs. Alluring skulls, very, very, very good for the upcoming boss fight in this area. So we are going to buy a few of those, just enough to give us up to 10, which is the maximum we can have in our bags at one time. So yes, buy a few of those with all of our souls. If you don't have enough to buy the armor now, as long as you don't go past, oh god, it's like in like 3 areas time, you're fine. You can still do Siegward's quest, but I would prioritize maybe just grinding a few enemies here to afford to buy it, because if you can keep up with things now and avoid having to remember to come back here later, it just means you get like this really nice end to all the quest lines and you can play along with us. Not essential to finish the game, but we're doing all NPC stuff, so. And also, you don't need the alluring skulls, like 4 that we picked up is probably fine, but you'll see. It's worth picking up a few more. Red Sign Soapstone, that is for duels. It's for duels. If you put your red sign on the ground online and someone else summons you, it's for a duel, a PvP duel. Through these doors here is Rosaria, Mother of Fingers. She's a big heckin' slug, and same. So what we're going to do is get the bonfire. We can say hi to her. I think if you like open up the Join Covenant thing, I think that gives you a trophy. However, what we're not going to do is anything, apparently. We're not going to give her anything. I believe you can join the Covenant without anything bad happening, as long as you don't give her anything, i.e. any pale tongues. Rosaria is the NPC and the Covenant leader of the Fingers, an invasion-based Covenant. When you kill someone as a Finger, you get a pale tongue. Handing in the pale tongues levels up the Covenant. It also allows you to respec your character, to reallocate your stats, which can be very, very useful if you decide you want to be a pyromancer or whatever and you don't want to use the swords anymore. And also if you just want to be a man, or you want to be a woman, or you want to have blonde hair or whatever, if you want to change your appearance, she can do that as well with pale tongues. Siegward's gotten himself stuck down a well. So now that we've met Patches and bought his armor, Siegward is here down the well. So all we have to do is chat to him. He's like, I need my armor, because apparently wearing really heavy plate mail makes it easier to climb out of wells, I guess, in this game, in this world. I don't know how the physics works in Lothric, but here we are. So chat to him. Have you seen my armor? Yes. Throw armor. There's actually the option to say, haven't seen it. Just cosplaying Patches. My armor. Wonderful. So that is the next part of Siegward's quest progressed. Like I said, it's quite expensive to buy, but worth doing at this point, because his next appearance, off the top of my head, if I'm not mistaken, is Irithiel Dungeon, which is quite far through the game. So if you get to that point, you might have forgotten about him by then. So good to do this now. And also good to get Patches for Grey Rat. So that's why we've done that. So, right, yes, Siegward, done. That is this area now complete. 100% complete. Apart from, obviously, the painted world, but that doesn't count. So, it's time now to head to the boss. If you want, you can pop back to Firelink Shrine, level up a couple times. We do have a wee bit of souls. We're just getting everything off of our equipment belt, apart from the alluring skulls and, of course, my Estus. If you didn't know, if you're in the habit of having a lot of items on your equipment belt and you're finding it a bit fiddly to switch between them all, I mean, I quite like to keep a tidy belt, but if you're like, no, I need everything. If you keep your Estus in the first slot, so the leftmost slot, no matter what item that you're on, like highlighted on, if you hold down on the D-pad, it will always take you to the first item on the list. So if you press down, it cycles through them. Hold down, it automatically takes you to the first item. So you can always get back to your Estus in a pinch. On the other hand, though, you can just keep a tidy equipment belt. So this time we've ignored everything and just ran around the back of where all the Deacons were, around the back of the altar. And here is the boss fight, the Deacons of the Deep. This is a gimmick fight where there's loads of them in the room, but the only one that will take damage off of like the health bar is the one that's glowing red. What you can do to very easily manipulate this is throw an alluring skull, and all the Deacons are like, oh my god, that's so shiny, I love it. I love it. And you can so easily manipulate the group. We've gotten really lucky here, and the red orb keeps flying to boys that are on the outside, and we don't have to wade into the group. Okay, this one's kind of in the group. But because their attention is all on the eluding skull, it is just trivial using these items. This is the best use of this item, like probably in the entire game. It just absolutely makes this fight so much easier. So just keep focusing on the ones that have the red until it gets to about 60% health, and you see this lad appearing in the middle here. The faster you are, the better. Obviously, we have to wait for stamina to replenish. Watch out for the fire getting thrown at you. Keep throwing skulls. Throw them like they're flipping candy. I don't know. Do you throw candy? Not really. Throw them like they are baseballs. I'm really tired. And then focus on the guy with the hat. And it is really as simple as that. One of the easier bosses in the game. So really nice and quick to take that one down. We got the soul of the Deacons of the Deep to use for transposing at Lland, and we got the archdeacon lol, which appeared when we rested at the bonfire. That is this area done for now, but we will be back here in future because this area, a pathway does open up to a future area, but we need to go and do Farron Keep first. The clue for that is just simply from speaking to NPCs. Hawk, the crestfallen knight, I believe, who has gone walkabout, he does say to you, Farron Keep, go there. So you do have clues throughout. Now that we have sort of progressed in Patch's quest line, the next part to his quest line involves the tower. So if you didn't already buy the tower key, you just got 20k souls from Deacons, so now's the time to do it. Buy the tower key, open up this tower at the right-hand side of Firelink Shrine, and head up here. So we've already done this. It opens up this path to the crows, down there, and then across. This is a sort of jumping puzzle where we found the Firekeeper soul at the top. And if you listen, that was the gate closing. So now the only path ahead of us is the drop down, which is very easy to die from. So that was Patches locking us in a potentially lethal situation once a flippin' again. Just doesn't seem like him. Oh, now we can go chat to Henri and Horace. Horace doesn't really say much. And progress their quest. Lland, to see what we can buy with the Soul of the Crystal Sage and the Soul of the Deacons of the Deep. Nothing much for our build. I mean, there wouldn't be much for our build because we've kind of already got our forever weapons, but there you go if you want a window shop. up here is how you can chat to Patches. So I'm like, dude, I'm not dumb. I know what you tried to do, but we got out of it. We homeward boned. But he, I think, was hoping that you would die. So he's up here. Oh, you're alive again.
Now, hold your horses.
So
Let's have a nice talk.
there's no disguising it this time. We know it was him. We heard him hacking, giggling.
I didn't mean it though.
Because we homeward boned, we kind of deprived you of an interaction with Patches. If you had gone back down the lift, he is standing there at the gate going, guess the only way is down. So we didn't show you that. Sorry about that. But yeah, so there's no doubt about it. It was Patches. Keeps trying to kill us. And he's like, you know what? Right. Bygones be bygones. It's not like you died. Do you forgive him? So there's no right or wrong answer here. I believe if you do not forgive him, I think he gives you like a gift, but it's not that good anyway. I don't remember. If you forgive him, it just stays on his good side because we do need him for Grey Rat's questline. So we're just gonna forgive him. But like I said, it doesn't really matter which one you pick.
Oh, fantastic.
More like a fourth chance, you absolute flipping ball bag. Unfortunately, though, we do need him, and it is whatever. You can kill him at the end of the quest line if you like. He does sell some items. Does he sell anything new? I think the Ember is new from the last time we saw him. I don't think he had that last time. And the Winged Spear, I think, is new. I'm not sure. Nothing that we need anyway. Talking to him reveals that he knows Grey Rat. He's got a good history with Grey Rat.
I should do something about that little dead.
So we're going to head down. There's a couple people to talk to. Are we heading to Irina? Right. Going to stop you here because we make another mistake here. Sorry about that. We give Irina the deep tome. I did mention this in the last episode. Do not give Irina deep tomes if you are intending to buy the dark magic from her or from anyone. She has two outcomes to her questline. One is if you sort of support her and are kind to her and she wants to be a firekeeper. So that's one questline. And then the other is that she goes insane from all the dark magic because she can't handle it. She's too pure. So just don't even give her the tomes and you won't be tempted to buy any of the dark miracles from her. So it does unlock them there, but just please ignore them. What we want to do is we want to instead buy the light miracles, so like your heals, your heckin' resplendent life, etc. And that will pursue her questline of becoming a firekeeper. There's no wrong answer, like I say, but we're doing the quote-unquote good ending for Irina. There is an NPC later on in the game that will take the deep tomes and give you the dark magic with no consequences. So just be patient for that. Grey Rat is back from his pillaging and he has an expanded inventory. You can buy the thief mask, which is fun. He now has did he have fire arrows before? He's got more embers and stuff like that. The Shrine Handmaiden, we have some ashes for her, the Paladin's ashes that we picked up in the Cathedral, so we can give them to her. And again, her inventory is expanded. So just get in the habit of every area. You've probably picked up something, so just go from NPC to NPC, like, right, did I get anything for you? Have you got any new dialogue, etc, etc. Did we not pick up a Sage scroll for Orbeck yet? We will soon. I mentioned last episode that he will stick around until like 6 bosses or something. Oh, she sells the big hat now, so you can buy the big hat if you want to run around with a big hat. You can run around with a big hat. Lloyd's shield ring, much like the Lord's sword ring, has benefits for when you are at full health. So the shield ring makes you take less damage at full health, and the sword ring makes you deal more damage at full health. Sorry. We are low on arrows, so be sure to purchase more of those because we are using them quite a lot. So we've got a steady supply of those. Andre, I don't think we picked up anything for Andre. We don't have enough large Titanite shards yet. I think we only picked up 2. Nope. Don't need to infuse. Don't need to repair. We didn't find an Estus shard. Nope. We're good. Okay, but it's always a good idea just to check. And I don't think we found a bone shard either. So last but not least, the Firekeeper. So we're going to level up with her. From now, we're probably just going, now that we've got 25 vigor, we're just going to dump everything in dex. Our dex is 29, which is really high for this stage in the game. So like I mentioned before, do not stress if you're not this high level, because it's still very much doable. But us being high level has benefits of, like, you know, the walkthrough isn't going to take 12 years to get through. Up next is Farron Keep. So we've already found the entrance to this, the bonfire for this, in the last episode when we were exploring the Crucifixion Woods. So here we are in Farron Keep. And here we will be for episode 7. So I hope you're enjoying the walkthrough so far. You can give us a like, and that lets us know we're doing a good job. Subscribe to see the next part, and we'll travel through Farron Keep together. Take care, guys. Don't you dare go hollow. I'll see you in the next video.